Find your niche and what makes you happy, because when times get stressful, things get rough, doing what you love will give you that extra push.
For the young girls of today's time, the opportunities are so tremendous in terms of what they can achieve.
Stay open and curious. You never know what kinds of things will happen, what doors will open.
Do what you love, the money will come. Do what you love, even if the money doesn't come. You only have one life and you should do what you love.
I can't wait to see all Girl Scouts really have access to a support system where they are encouraged to be everything they can be.
I was always in the business of helping people, I guess, so I always knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I've been working at St. Joe's since 2004, but I've actually been a nurse since 2005, so 9 years in June. I provide care to the sick, premature, or healthy infant. We also prepare the parents for discharge once the babies go home. I like to motivate my coworkers. I give them little pep talks at work. I'm very passionate and believe in what I do.
I was 4 years old when I first remember my father telling me that I would be a physician. Being a diplomat and having traveled all over the world, my father did understand how women were treated. And so for him, it was very important that I become an independent woman. And in his mind, the way I become a strong and independent woman was to have a profession that helped me to be who I was. I think I was about 12 years old when I met Mother Teresa. I was with her as she was taking care of the ailing and the sick. And that's when internally I felt that that was my draw to who I was going to become. I work with healthcare reform, looking at different provisions of the Affordable Care Act and implement it in the best way possible for Atlantic Health Systems, so we continue to lead change in our current dynamic healthcare environment.
I continue to say I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, and I've had a lot of different kinds of careers. And I was doing some adult leadership work, running a program for adults, and through that I got to meet some firefighters on the City of Cleveland Fire Department. And what I learned from first responders is a different calling of service, I think, that's incredibly admirable. I began to think about what's the role that I could play in also helping my community to be a stronger place. I have been a city council person for 5 years now, and my job responsibilities really entail the issues that affect the people of Englewood and the quality of life, and trying to make sure that we're a city that is a happy and healthy place for people to live.
My idea of playing when I was little was to put on shows. We would put on dancing, singing, play acting, magic shows, and all the money went to the missions. That was my passion, entertainment. I've been acting or directing since I was a little kid. I started the company in December of 1983, so I'm in business over 30 years. My responsibilities are to take a product and creatively execute commercials that actually sell the product directly to the consumer via television and the web at this point in time.
So I got involved in Girl Scouting initially with my daughter because in first grade it was a great opportunity for her to experience all the programs that Girl Scouts offered. From being a leader and working with the girls and watching them grow and change and working with the other parents, I've learned an awful lot from that. I have been co-leader of Troop 369 in Long Valley, Washington Township. Since the girls were in first grade, they're now 12th grade, and 4 of them have got their gold award, so they've gone all the way through bronze, silver, and their gold award, which is fantastic. My job is I'm a Vice President of Regulatory Operations, Compliance and Training here at Celgene, bringing a drug development through the various stages and then onto the market.
I grew up here in Patterson, born and raised. Yes, I was a Girl Scout. I started off as a teeny tiny daisy and became a teenage cadet. I would say the best experiences were going camping. If it wasn't for the Girl Scouts, I actually would have probably never gone camping. It was a great mother-daughter experience. My mentor that helped me along the way would be my mom. Because of a change in career paths, she ended up going to school for special education to get her master's, and we actually graduated in the same year. Her from her master's program, and I from my undergraduate studies in nursing. My parents always instilled in me to put God first. They always stressed the importance of getting a good education and a successful career. And I've always been told that I can achieve anything I wanted as long as I put my mind to it.
The first mentor that I had was my father. He would always tell me, Poonam, it's only the wearer who knows where the shoe hurts. He taught me empathy. Next mentor was my mother-in-law. She had this aura of happiness. She always taught us to try our best, but never regret what you've done and just continue to move forward. My husband has been absolutely critical. When you talk about a soulmate, I think I have a soulmate. He has been someone who believed in me when I haven't believed in myself. When I felt that I've achieved my goals, he's been able to expand them even further. And most importantly, I think it's my children, because they inspire me and they motivate me. As a working mom, it's very gratifying because even though I don't spend the amount of time that I want to with them, I know the quality of time that I spend is so tremendous that they would have it no other way.
Being a woman in public service and in elective office is still a pretty tricky landscape. I think we still have an image in our head that leaders and elected officials are men. I think that there are some rules of politics still which are pretty down and dirty and from the 19th century, and it's been a little hard to learn to fight in that way. I don't think that's the best way to get things accomplished. So most of the challenges are sort of being held back because I don't like the way the game is played and having to figure out how to be effective and at the same time change the rules of the game. And so I do a lot of work with kids. I love to talk to kids about leadership and civics. So I try to focus a lot on what are the things that I could be doing now that will create greater opportunity for the young women who are coming behind me.
I thought that being a woman might be an obstacle. My first job, there was a different pay structure for the exact same title. So I knew there might be some issues along the way, and there were many issues. I learned how to turn a deaf ear to inappropriate comments. I learned the expression, talk with your mouth, not with your hands. I learned a lot of strategies for coping in a somewhat sexist world back in the day.
Girl Scouting has a significant impact on the lives of the girls involved. I really genuinely think it does help them build courage, confidence, and character. It provides them with opportunities to try new things, test boundaries, see if this works for them. It gives them a nurturing environment in which to grow and, as I said, to try things out. It's been very interesting to follow the girls as they have grown over these 12 years and see how they've matured and what they've turned into, and they've turned into beautiful young adults. Hopefully the girls of Troop 369, the girls of Washington Township Long Valley community appreciate that they have a support network and that they understand they have a responsibility to pay that forward and continue to contribute, if not to Girl Scouting in the future, I sincerely hope they do, but to look for opportunities where they can give other people the support that they've had.
Being named the 2014 Young Women of Promise has been a very, very exciting and humbling experience. It's been an honor to know that your hard work and dedication in your career and your personal life actually doesn't go unnoticed. And I like the title Young Women of Promise because it means that there's much more out there for me to accomplish, and God is not through with me yet. My role in helping the women in the next generation succeed is just leading by example, just showing them that you too can succeed and you can achieve anything that you want.
It's so important to find your passion, try new things, not be afraid of change, take on new challenges, because at the end of the day, you're going to be dedicating your life to a certain profession, career, or lifestyle.
I think the most important leadership skills are the way we treat others, listening respectfully, finding ways to disagree without being disagreeable, finding ways to work with others toward a common good. So I think the advice that I would give to girls who are thinking about how they want to make their mark on the world is to stay open and curious. There's so many connections and there's so many skill sets that come from just being open and trying things and taking a risk. And all of those things give you great confidence to seize the next crazy opportunity that opens up.
I've hired the next generation of women leaders. I teach them the basic business principles. I teach them what's morally right and wrong in business. I keep a red pen out to make sure that they understand that there's no place for sloppiness in business. I think I'm a good role model in that I lead by example. I think that's the most important thing you can do. One of the leadership skills that I work on most is listening. That's been a very important part of being a leader, and also to have respect for people's home lives. Very often in business we forget that we're total people and not just little working machines. For a younger woman, if you want a family and a career, there has to be a balance. It's doable. It will take its toll. You probably won't have your nails done or your hair done all the time, but you can do both.
The key thing, I think, to be successful in business is to know your strengths, but to be willing to take a chance. When something is offered or when you think you would like to do something, to analyze it sufficiently to have a sense of what it is you might be walking into, but not be afraid if it seems challenging, because it's through those challenges, it's through being willing to take a risk that you will be given more opportunities. Don't be afraid, be willing to step up, be willing to be a leader. Everybody has the opportunity to bring something different, and the skill is learning or recognizing what that might be and then tapping into it, and not force-fitting anything, being flexible and allowing things to evolve and really allowing people to contribute what they can when they can.